Welcome, everybody. This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Hey, tonight we're in the Lion's Den, man. Hey, it feels good to be back on the show. I know a lot of people have wondering where did I slip off to, but just like everybody else, you got to take a break from these things and just, kind of look out for yourself and, make sure things are okay with your health wise and mental wise. So, with that being said, I am back to let you guys know I have a lineup, an unbelievable lineup for the month of April. I mean, I got teams from all over the country that's going to be joining me. So, hey, just want to let you guys know that I am back. I am alive and I am kicking. But with that being said, I'd like to do a quick shout out to everybody that is watching us tonight on different platforms, of course. I'd like to thank all you guys that are on Kick, Rumble, and for some reason, Instagram is not allowing me to go live tonight. So I got to figure out what's going on with IG, Twitch, YouTube, and of course, all you Facebook guys out there, man. I just want to say welcome to the show. Let's, you guys know how I do it. Let's come on. Let's have some fun. And, man, let's do this. All right, so tonight, guys, I am in Virginia. Can you guys believe it? I am back. Dude, how many times have I been to Virginia? I feel like I've been there, at least 40 times, since I've been doing this, my podcast. But, hey, there's a team out there, man. It's called Black Diamonds Paranormal Society from Virginia. Man, what's up, Rodney? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, sir. How you doing tonight?
Oh, man, I am hanging in there. I got this new device, man, that I'm working on tonight to let everybody see. It is my little soundboard here that allows me to do some things, but I'm not quite figured it out. But you know what? Give me a little time, and I will I will figure this thing out. Like everything else, I was born in the 70s, raised in the 80s, so I'm not too tech savvy, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I mean, eventually I'll get it, but it looks pretty cool so far. They got a lot of green lights and stuff, and I'm able to, I don't know if can you hear that?
No.
Yeah, I'm pressing all these buttons and all different little things. You should be able to hear that, but I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway, do you hear an echo? Do you hear anything? Is my voice clear or anything?
No, you sound clear to me.
Okay, cool, man. At least I know I got my mic working, but I don't know about anything else. All right, hey Rodney, man, welcome to the show, brother. Man, I really appreciate it. When I gave you a call, me and you hit it off real well. Hell, we must have talked for about like an hour before, we actually, even started talking about the show. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, introduce yourself to the world.
Well, I'm Rodney Shortridge, founder and lead investigator of Black Diamond Paranormal Society. Um, Also, at one time I had a podcast for about 4 years called Within the Chaos. I'm an author of one of the books that I did for our investigations,
Mhm.
and a town that we did a lot of work for called the Ghost of Pocahontas, Virginia, and the Hauntings of Appalachia. You can get them on Amazon, like you can get everything on Amazon. Um, I'm a retired truck driver, graphics designer, artist. That's about it. Gardener. I love to garden.
Gardening, man. I mean, I love gardening, dude. It's something about gardening, dude, that just takes your mind and it just
Mm,
takes everything. It take you away from the world for at least a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? It takes you somewhere where it's just relaxing. You know, it's just one of those things that I love to do. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully I'll be able to get back into gardening. And hell, I think in my next life, hell, I lived in Iowa and I owned probably like 300 acres, man, and I grew potatoes. And can you believe that? I grew potatoes in Iowa.
wow.
Hey, boy, that must have been one hell of a life. Okay, well, you know what, man? Hey, welcome to the show, dude. I really appreciate it.
Oh,
You coming out
thank you.
and hanging out with me for a while, but we're gonna go ahead and get jump right on into the show. Now, man, this particular show, man, I'm gonna ask you a million and one questions, man. Feel free to sit back, just be honest with me, tell me what you think, about the conversation that we're having, and just be yourself, brother. Just be yourself. That's all I can tell you. Just be yourself. You know what I'm saying? And just have some fun. All
That's
right,
no,
so
that's
as I'm strolling through your Facebook right now, and I see that you have a couple of YouTubers that you follow. Franco TV, for an example, his adventures. What do you think about Franco TV?
I love it. I do. I really love Franco. I think that he, I think he does a really good job on his investigations. What worries me so much, he's young, and he does it solo,
Uh-huh.
and he could. And right now he's been in Peru for the past, I guess, couple of years, and he's in areas that could get him hurt, get him killed, get him arrested. So I don't recommend anybody doing that unless you have a teammate or team, a few people with you to help you get out of a sticky situation. But
Right, right.
but his evidence, he's got really good evidence. I've even helped him a couple of times point out stuff that he missed on his reviews, and but yeah, great young kid. He's got a great future at it. I like what he does. And the mid,
Okay.
and I'll tell you another one I really like too. I don't know if you've ever watched him. Is the Midwest Ghost Hunter?
I think I've seen him a couple of times. I think I've seen him a couple of times.
Now, and that's another one that does it solo. There again, I don't recommend doing it solo, but he gets great evidence too. I mean, I've tried to scrutinize his evidence that what he's shown,
Uh-huh.
and everything that him and Franco posts up, I think's legit.
Okay. Now, you mentioned the word legit. Okay, so there's always some people out there that scrutinize individuals. That don't like to hear that these people out here doing things legit. Do you think that there any possibility there is something, especially with with Franco, dude, because he gets into so many creepy locations. Some I've heard of, some I've never heard of, and he always seemed to get caught up in the situation. You know what I'm saying? So, do you think that sometimes he might pull the chain a little bit and create things out there that shouldn't be?
Uh, if he does, he's really good at it. I don't think that he fakes anything. I don't think he pulls his chain. I don't think that kid. I don't think that kid's like that. And just like with the Midwest Ghost Hunter, I don't think he's like that either. Now, there's other people I've watched. Excuse me. I watched. I don't know if you remember Ghost Hunters when they first came out real big.
Okay.
Now, I was a big fan of theirs until they had that Halloween special, and was it Grant, the one that was pulling his like a saying something was touching him on the back of his jacket, but you could
Mm-hmm.
see he had his hand in his pocket, and every time he moved his arm down, you could see the back of his collar go down. Now, was that fake? I think it was. He says it wasn't, but that's when I lost all respect for him.
Okay. Yeah, I quit watching Ghost Adventures, man. Those, I don't know, dude. I mean, I can't even tell you how many seasons they're into right now. I mean, after the first couple of episodes, I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But you do have one of my favorite shows that comes on YouTube, and that's Nuke's Top Five.
Oh
I
yeah.
I encourage people to watch Nuke's Top Five whether they believe or not, because some of the evidence, and the thing about Nuke's Top 5 is they don't tell you that it's haunted. They leave it up to you to tell you what you think. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like about it. Because I've never heard on news like the most haunted location. No, they always say, what do you think?
Mm-hmm.
Leave your comments below. You know what I'm saying? So everything that they post, it's open, for you guys to leave a comment and say what you think. They never tell you that, hey, this is this, that is that. Nope, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? But I watch that show every time I get a chance. Just to see what new stuff they got out, because a lot of people, believe it or not, dude, there is a lot of good paranormal investigators that are on Nuke Top Five. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's that place. I mean, I don't know who does it, but I really think that they're doing a damn good job with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right. Hey, well, you know what, Rod? Tell me a little bit about you and a little bit about your team, man, or the team that you want to put back together, or people are telling you or asking you to put back together. Are you considering it?
Well, the reason why I retired back in was it 2021, 2020 was one because of COVID, and two because my health was. I'm a diabetic, and I've been diabetic for over 20 some years, and it's starting to cause me to, I can't keep my balance, and I get dizzy. My sugar will drop just out of the blue. So I don't want to put if I had a team back together, I don't want to be responsible of me going down on them and causing a problem, or dying in somebody else's property.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do an investigation, that would be cool. But we did it for like 14 years. We investigated, and from local area, from West Virginia, Kentucky, North Carolina, Tennessee, um, and a lot of people have asked me to come back. Like I told you when we talked earlier, I still get people call me up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Uh,
Oh,
they've got something going on and they want me to, come and investigate, but I told them I can't, but I'll try to talk them through it, you know. But yeah, I created a team when I started out. Um, in 2007, my grandma had passed away, and my uncle, I didn't know he was a paranormal investigator. He kept it all real quiet because my family's very religious and they kind of frown upon
Mm-hmm.
paranormal. And he played me some audio, some EVPs, and he asked me. He said, "Can you tell me what voices you heard in what I played you?" I said, "Well, I heard you. I heard my aunt, and I heard this little girl." And he said, "Okay, now what if I told you there was no little girl there?" I'm like, "Well, I heard her." He's like, "That's right. A lot of people don't hear that, but you heard it." And I said, "Well, why are you showing me this?" You know, he said, "Well, I heard, from your dad that, and one of my uncles that when I was younger, when I was about 9 or 10 years old, after my grandpa passed away, this was my first paranormal experience. I was at my grandma's house, sitting in a corner watching TV while my uncle was in the kitchen, and my deceased papa walked by me, looked down at me, and smiled, and walked into the kitchen. And I watched him, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" And then I heard what verified what I saw was when I heard my uncle say, "Daddy." I was like, "Whoop, what?" So I just tucked the little corner, and went down the basement door and went to the house. And I didn't want to say a word about it. But
Mm.
but apparently my uncle told my dad what happened. So my dad, a few days later, asked me. He's like, "Son, I got a question for you. Did you see Daddy when you was at Mommy's a few days ago?" I said, "How do you know?" And he said, "Well, Furl told me." I was like, "Oh Lord, yeah, yeah, but I thought you think I was crazy. Lord gosh, yeah, I saw Papa. Holy shit."
Mm. Now, let me ask you a question. Now, did you do a lot of residential cases when you were investigating, or was it more commercial, or just abandoned? What exactly did Black Diamond? Where did exactly did Black Diamond Paranormal Society investigate?
Everything. We did
Everything.
we did cemeteries, we did residential, we did commercial. We even investigated a whole town. It took
Mm.
we investigated the town of Pocahontas for 8 years.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So a lot of people when they see, when they have a haunting in their house, most people just think it's something that they don't understand. But most of the time, it's basically just family members that are hanging around, and most of them are, mischievous and just want to have fun with you. Some of them, the way they are in life, if they were a goofball in life, it's a good chance they're going to be goofballs in death. You know what I'm saying? So most, and in most of my cases, that's where I've ran across some of the residential where, hey, these are family members, that are checking up on you, making sure you're okay. They're gonna come and go, and but they just want to make sure, hey, you're all right, man. They're gonna do the best. And believe it or not, Rod, people always tell me is uh spirits or ghosts have a job to do.
Mhm.
And their job in the afterlife is to look after the ones that are still alive. Now, to me, that's a 24-hour, 7 day a week, 365 days out the year type gig. The only problem is you're not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, what do you think?
I think that a lot of these, whether it's spirits or something from I've even got a theory that uh, some of these EVPs or apparitions and stuff might be glimpses from a parallel universe that for just a few seconds that somehow that there's some door opened or some thinning of the walls of reality that we're able to see each other, because there's a lot of investigations I've done that we've got whether EVPs or any type of shadows or something, it just doesn't click with the history of the location or the families. So that leaves a big mystery, a big question mark, like what is that?
Mm-hmm.
What's causing that? But I do believe a lot of these, if you want to say hauntings, is family members that have passed on, that are kind of glimpsing into our lives, and maybe trying to point us in the right direction. Like, you're fucking up. You might need to straighten up, or okay, you're in the right spot, or somebody might be getting ready to pass away, a family member, and they're trying to help comfort them. I mean, it's just so many variables, and I think it also affects their dreams too.
Mm.
Because I've always had all my life dreams that you know coincides with a lot of the paranormal stuff that I've actually researched. And I don't ever claim that I see the future or nothing like that. No, it's just I just get these strong feelings and dreams about a family member or a friend, and sometimes I just can't shake it that I'd actually have to send them a message. Are you okay? Or so is that something that a spirit is in my subconscious trying to help me help somebody else? I mean, I just think it's a whole bigger uh, um, a bigger I don't know the right word, but I just think it's bigger than just seeing an apparition or hearing an unexplained voice or seeing shit moving all by itself.
Because one thing I do realize, dude, dreams, when you're asleep, you at your most sensitive, your most vulnerable state, your mind, your body is relaxing. And sometimes your mind is the most powerful thing on your body.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because without your mind, you wouldn't have nothing. But we only tip a certain percentage on what our minds can do. Me personally, I think when we're sleeping, I think our minds can jump up an extra 2, maybe 3% of what it is when we are awake. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can visualize, or you can jump into something like you said. I mean, you can jump into another world and see exactly what is going on. In the meantime, you're sitting there sleeping, but your mind is taking it. So your mind is like a recorder, so everything it sees is going to record. So when you wake up in the morning, that is the first thing that you see. Like, oh man, did I just have that dream that night? To hear it is a week later, the same thing that you dreamed about just happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but you know what? Can you imagine if it took 2 to 3% for your mind to be able to do that when you sleep? Can you imagine those who can jump 4, maybe 5, 6% while they're asleep? And actually, oh, dude, that would be unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
Hell, I wish I can do that now. You remember the movie? Hey, I was watching a movie called Firestarter. Have you ever watched that movie? The old
That's
classic with
yes, Barry. What's her name? Uh,
with Drew
Drew,
Barrymore in it.
Drew Barrymore. Yeah, yeah. I watched it.
Now, can you imagine with somebody with that type of power? All you got to
Ooh,
do is think fire, and this big ass fireball is coming at you. Don't piss
that's,
her off because she's gonna blow you down the house up.
yeah, no shit.
So, I mean, it's dude. The mind is so. I mean, we've yet to tap into so much. I mean, oh my God, dude! I can just imagine. Hell, I can't wait to go to sleep now to see if I can do it. You know what I'm saying? But
Well, and that makes you wonder if a lot of the paranormal events that people show, they record now, or even in the past when they wrote it down, if some of it might be manifested through their brain, their mind of
mhm,
reading a story or something, and it just locks in their brain, and then they start manifesting something there at their own home because of the power of the brain.
right. And I might be wrong with this. I might be wrong. So those of you guys that are on the chat, tell me what you think. But when you are asleep, you go back to this child state of mind where everything is so simple. You know what I'm saying? Because in a child's, when you're a child, everything is so simple. Everything is so clear. That's why, if a spirit of a family member wants to come visit or wants to come say hello, it will come to a grandchild or somebody who can actually communicate, somebody that's simple. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So compared to me, where my mind is fluttered every day with everyday life. But just think if you go to sleep and how everything just calms down when you sleep. You know, it takes you back to your childhood where everything is so simple and you're able to communicate with certain people that are passed on when you sleep and when dude, that's such a good time. You know what I'm saying? Because your body's relaxed, your mind, everything a part of you, from your head to your toe, is totally relaxed, and you're open. And that's why sometimes I think spirits come to you in your sleep because you are so open. You're not cluttered with all the BS of the world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just throwing it out there to see what people think. You know, and believe it or not, that's where people have these dreams from. I've heard about people actually dreaming, and they turn around and write a whole damn book about what they dreamed about.
Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy, and it's a wonderful mind, dude. Your mind and your body is so wonderful. I just hate it that it breaks down at a certain point in life.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so cool as we age, our bodies get stronger,
Mm-hmm.
but it's totally reversed. We're young, our bodies get stronger. When we're old, it gets weaker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just wish there's some way that we can reverse that, and figure out how to solve all these problems that are going on. Because I'll be honest with you, dude. When I was 15, I couldn't wait till I said, man, I can't wait to be 40, 50 years old. But when you're 40 and 50 years old, the elders that are that age don't tell you all the problems that they're having at that age
Nope.
because they figure out that you're not ready to handle for what they're about to tell you. And I'm like, oh man, now I'm like, oh man, no, I can't do it. I was like, man, I thought about it and I'm like, oh no, I'd rather shit keep with what I got at the age of 15 than wanting to jump right on up 40 years later and think about all these damn health issues that people have when they're that that age. It's crazy, but man, it's just weird how things are going on. But Rodney, tell me a little bit about what you think about the state, the paranormal community as it is today. Now, you started, man, 20 years ago. Has it changed or is it still the same?
I think it's changed a lot. I think with this AI technology, now it's going to make it a lot harder to tell who's actually got real evidence from fake evidence. As AI keeps getting smarter and smarter and smarter, it's going to be harder and harder to tell what's real and what's not real from what you see, other than what you experience personally. So I think it's really going to hurt the paranormal world and investigators. I think a lot of people are out there right now just trying to get, they act like they're paranormal investigators, but as soon as something happens, instead of going towards whatever is going on, the motherfuckers run. It's like, what? And I sit there and I'm like, what the fuck are you running for? You're there to investigate that. You see a shadow peek its head around the corner. I damn go to it and see if it's a person or if it's actually something paranormal.
Yeah, you know what, Rodney? I don't think people are actually mentally prepared. I mean, they're prepared to investigate, but they're not actually prepared to see something like that. They're they're not. I don't think their minds can comprehend seeing something like that. So therefore, the most logical thing for them to do is turn around and get the hell up out of there. Now, if you come into the situation mentally and physically prepared to, to like, hey man, I got to go in here and I got to figure things out. I got to, we got to go here and do a job that's 100%. Those of you that are physically and mentally prepared, those are the ones that are going to run towards the situation. Now, the others, like you say, they're going to get the hell out of there because they're not they're mentally, they're not able to comprehend on what they just saw.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh shit. Was that what I thought it was? No. Man, I'm the first one to run to that door to figure out, hey, what the hell is going on the door, man? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I see that was big about the people that that became members of Black Diamond. When I took him out, when we did an investigation, that was one big thing that I watched for. Are you going to stand your ground? Are you going to go towards it? Are you going to run? If you're a runner, I didn't want you on my team because I don't want you. I mean, I know there's been times that I've not been scared that I've had to do that. Oh, okay, let's shake that off for a second. Let me look at this again, But if you run, somebody's going to get hurt, especially like if you're in a cemetery, all the headstones and footstones and all that. Somebody gets scared and takes off running. Somebody get fogged, they get hurt or knock over a headstone. I mean, I really took a deep dive. I mean, I even have a handbook. It took us 2.5 years. We created a handbook on how to fucking do a proper investigation and the bylaws and laws of what I expected out of my team. I didn't put up no bullshit. When we done an investigation, you go in there, yeah, it was serious. But as the night gets longer and nothing's really going on, of course, you're human. Everybody's going to start joking and bullshitting and talking and carrying on. That's fine. I could deal with that. But when we done an investigation, everybody had a job from doing the history of the place, doing the interviews with the homeowners or property owners, to setting up the equipment. I went in, I told them where I want it. They put it up. We tested it. Done. We sent in 2 people teams. That's how we did it for about 2 hours each. They come out and they said, we come in. So that, and they had their own questions. I didn't do any, like, pre-authorizing any type of questions. No, I wanted them to feel it and to go on their own instincts on how they should approach what questions and where to go.
Right, right. Now, and what irritates me is, when you have an investigation, dude, I mean, you got 26 letters in the alphabet. You can make up a multitude of different words you can communicate with. Why in the hell are we using the same damn? Why is everybody in the damn world using the same damn words? That I don't understand that. You know, when you out investigating and you want to communicate with somebody, you have to think logically.
Mhm.
Let's think. Let's not think. Inside the box. I'm one of these outside of the box paranormal investigators. I am gonna throw something at you that you've never seen, you've never heard of before, because you have to realize that some of these people that we are communicating with are probably not in our generation. So the
Exactly.
language is going to be a little bit different, you know. So you sometimes you just gotta, you gotta think outside the box. And a lot of people are still stuck in that box. And it irritates the hell out of me because you got 50 million paranormal investigators inside of a little square area, and you got 10 outside the box that are successful and doing their own thing. So how is that you got 10 million in the box that are doing the same bullshit, but you got 10 on the outside that aren't doing the same bullshit and is very successful at what they're doing. But the 10 million are looking at the 10 and calling the 10 a bunch of jackasses because they're not doing it the way that the 50 other million people are doing it. And the first thing I ask is, damn, dude, who's more successful at doing what I need to do? Is you with these 10 millions, or is it just these other 9 guys that I'm dealing with who are just as successful as me compared to the 10 million that you're in the box with?
Mhm.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying? So it's crazy. I wish people will open their minds a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not saying they have to, go out of the box with it. Just open up your mind and your ears a little bit and do things unorthodox. Do
let's,
something different.
let's see. My biggest thing when I would do an investigation, when I was me or whoever was with me, when I'd go in, I'd always introduce myself. Hello, I'm Rodney. I'm here to ask some questions and get to know you. Can you tell me your name? Tell me, are you male, female? Stuff like that. I would actually have conversations. Well, can you tell me what year it is? What kind of car you drove? Depending on the situation and where we was at. I mean, I got into some, and everybody be sitting there going, "Damn, I never thought about that." And I told them, these are apparently people that have passed on. So we need to talk to them as people, not, I mean, as long as we did it, everybody's like, did you ever meet a demon? No. Yeah, we ran into some situations where a couple girls one girl got scratched on her back and one girl got scratched on her leg. They're like, well, that's a demon. No, we don't know that's a demon. That could be just a son of a bitch that was trying to get their attention. I mean, I don't know. Some of the questions I watch these other YouTube paranormal groups that show their stuff, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. And you know what, dude? And I'm gonna be honest with you. You might agree, you might disagree with me, but all this started in all this all of it started in Hollywood. The way
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood portrayed paranormal investigators, man, you got these guys that are investigating. Let's say when Ghost Hunters came out, that's the way they when Ghost Hunters came out, everybody wanted to investigate the way Ghost Hunters did it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, Ghost Hunters wasn't always right.
Exactly.
Some of the, some of their ways of thinking wasn't always right. Definitely, the way that they communicated with their team members was totally screwed up. Because I'm telling you, if I was a part of Tabs and they talked to me like that, oh man, Grant would have a knot upside his goddamn head. I mean, I'll be honest with you, dude, because you're not going to talk to me like that. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care who TV show that is. It's got to be some line of respect, no matter
Exactly.
who you are. No
Now, I
matter
tell you,
who you
my team members I had, I loved every one of them. I did. I did. They were great. They great people. Uh, each one of them had their own ideas, and we had a monthly meeting where we sit down and try to hash out these ideas. And sometimes it got a little heated because somebody's idea was a little stronger than the others. But we always worked it out. That was my big thing. We're a fucking team, and we're gonna work this shit out, no matter how bad it is. And if we can't work it out, there's a door.
there's
I
a
mean,
door.
there's a door. There's just plain and simple. And like I said, they're great people. I love them. I hope the best for them. I know if they want me to fire it back up, and if I don't know, I just don't know if I got it in me to do it again. But I know I get a lot of requests from other people to do investigations. Ex team members want me to get her fired back up, but I just don't know if I got it in me to do it that way again.
Well, the great thing about being a paranormal investigators, we always need somebody in the shadows. We
Yeah,
always need somebody in the background. You know what I'm saying? Because without people in the shadows or in the background, I don't think most of these teams on the planet will even exist.
yeah.
Because we need people that are, that are doing the research at while I'm asleep. That are doing things while other people are doing other things. So I think that might be your calling, bro. Put the team back together, but be in the shadows. Do the
Well,
ones that do the research.
the biggest thing that I would say about having a paranormal group is they're great about doing the investigations. When we did events, they were great about showing up and helping. But when it came to going over the audio, the video, the photos, we would do. There was sometimes I'd have 150 hours worth of video to go through, and 150 hours of audio to go through, and thousands of photos to go through, and then trying to set them down and help me go through all that evidence. They just start talking and gossiping and stuff like that, being friends, which that's what happens. I understand that, but that part of being a paranormal investigator is what burnt me out.
Yeah.
They burnt me out because I would sit here, I would help them schedule for events, help them schedule for investigations, help them do research. I'd sit here and go through the 150 hours worth of audio, video, and the thousands of photos, And you know, I'm painstakingly trying to make sure that what I saw was what I saw and what I heard was what I heard before I would even cut it and post it and even show our clients. So when you put all that weight upon one person, it became too much.
Yeah. But you know, there is a software out there today where it eliminates a lot of that.
Oh, really?
Uh, yeah, it's a soft. I can't remember what the name of it. Where you upload this software and you put in your audio, and it scans your audio, and whatever little nick and hit that it sees, it records. So then, same thing with your video. You put your video in there, and whatever something that's abnormal, it records. So it actually saves you a shitload of time to able to do that. So now all you gotta do is just click onto the website
Uh-huh.
and just go through each skit. I mean, and instead of just going through regular 120 hours of audio, whatever sound pops up, it plays it for you. And I'd say that sound will probably last maybe what, a couple seconds. So you go on to the next. You go on to the next. By then, hell, instead of losing 2.5 hours, maybe more than that on doing that, hell, you probably have all that done in like 30 minutes,
Oh, wow.
which is not fucking bad, bro.
Yeah, but
Which is
as picky as I am, I like to see it and listen to it myself. You know, I'm picky.
well, I understand that. I
I'm
understand,
picky.
but
I am. Mm, I can't help it. When I started doing this, I mean, I said, and I had to learn, you know, people's like their stomach, you know, the stomach growl, or somebody has nasal problems, the way they sniff or cough or clear their voice. You know, there was one investigation. One of my members from Pole Matt, love him to death, but he makes a certain noise when he's clearing his throat. I've never heard that noise before. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought I got something good. And, you know, and I played it for everybody. I said, what do y'all think this is? And they couldn't figure it out. And I'd be damned if and one of our minions made that noise. And I'm like, that's it. That's it. So, you know, you start having to learn people's, you know, the way they pop their fingers or
right.
if they murmur to themselves. I had a couple of them that would, you know, kind of talk to themselves, and you think it's the EVP, and you're like, damn it, quit murmuring, quit that.
Right. Because when you're doing audio, I mean, everything's suspect when you're
Mhm.
audioing. Everything's suspect.
Yeah.
You got to point out to this and point out to that. And I'm like, oh yeah. I mean, I was the same way, dude. I'm like, man, I can't. I'm not going to sit up here and listen to this for 20 hours,
Yeah.
and hopefully. But I discovered that damn website, and I'm like, dude, I can skip through all this BS and I can get to what I need to get to in 30 minutes
Does it,
and be
does it
done
really,
with it.
does it,
And
how, I mean, do you like it? I mean, does it pick up
yeah,
what
yeah,
you,
I like it. I just can't think of the name of it at the damn time. You know what I'm saying? But I like it a lot. I mean, I have not used it. To be honest with you, dude. When the last time? The first investigation I went to since way before I got sick was just 2 weeks ago, and I didn't even need it at that time because hell, we didn't even pick up anything.
Mhm.
Did nothing go. I mean, it was so damn quiet out there. Hell, I thought to go get my damn tent and go camping. It was so serene and quiet and so dark. You can see the damn sky. I mean, the Texas sky is so damn big and all the damn stars. Man, it was a sight to see. Hell, I should have took my telescope out there and damn investigate.
I tell you, I love the Texas out west. Y'all's open skies are beautiful. Oh my gosh! I know when I drove a truck, I've seen a many weird things when I was on the road, but seeing the big sky and the meteors and the stuff falling, is breathtaking.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of the Midwestern states myself, dude. Now that sky, those oh my god, dude, it was something totally different. Iowa, uh, Nebraska,
Yeah,
those Midwestern states. I mean, oh my god, dude,
I know.
those.
First time I ever drove through Nebraska, I told him when I got home, I said, "Hell, you could go to sleep and still be driving on a straight road and after 8 hours." I'm like, "Good God, I ain't never seen something so flat in my life."
Oh yeah, Nebraska ain't no joke.
Oh,
I mean, the plains. That's yeah. Those Midwestern states, Iowa. Nebraska. Oh shit, the parts of Oklahoma.
yeah.
I mean, are flat. It's just the way it is, dude. Hey, dude. Now, Hollywood. We just mentioned Hollywood, dude, a few minutes ago. I don't understand them, dude. You would think that they would learn their lessons when it comes to paranormal movies or horror movies, but it seems like they haven't learned their lesson yet. It seems like they just keep rotating whatever that they got going on. Has it ever been a movie where Hollywood ever got the situation right?
Ooh. Mm. No, because if they got it right, it'd be boring and nobody would buy. Nobody would watch it.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, seriously, if they don't hype it up and make it more intense than what it really is, yeah, nobody'd watch it.
Nobody's watching it. But that was you might not have the average individual watch it, but hell, man, that's a paranormal investigator's dream.
Oh yeah. Now,
You
see,
know?
we got to do a couple episodes. Well, actually, three of my ghost story.
Okay, yeah, I used to watch that.
Now, I had well, they see, I don't fly. I hate flying, so they paid for me to drive us out there. And when we did three episodes, they came back here and filmed and stuff. But while we were there filming, uh, they wanted me to lie about a certain thing that we were investigating, and I wouldn't do it. I took the mic off, got up. I said, if this is what you want from me, we don't lie, we don't fake. If this is the way it's going to be, I'm gone. And I was leaving, and the director actually followed me outside, and he said, "Well, we'll do it your way. We'll do it." I said, "Now, if you do not do it my way, and you cut and edit it some other way," I said,
Mhm.
I'll sue the shit out of you all." And they actually did two episodes. They didn't do the third one. They didn't air it, but they did a good job. They did a good job. I gotta give them credit, but it was a fight.
Mm. So you had to fight to get to make sure they don't screw shit up.
Oh, you daggone right. You got to fight. I can't hear you. You went mute.
Is that? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to do it like that, man. So they'll understand what exactly that we go through every time we investigate. Because if not, they're gonna go, like you say, they're gonna put their own little twists and turns on there, and it just, you know what? It might sound right at the time, but then again, when you get to the house and you're like, oh no, man, I can't do that. No, that's not right. I mean, we can't. No, no, hell no.
See, if you're
By then it's too late.
it's your reputation, the way I looked at it.
Definitely, it's all about your rep at this point. You know, are you willing to ruin your rep for $10,000? You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? $10,000 sounds good, you
they
know,
gave us
but is it
they
worth
gave
it?
they gave us $100 a piece.
Oh hell no! That ain't working with me.
They pay for my gas out there and the gas back, and $100 a piece.
Nope. And they probably
Seriously?
wrote you a check, didn't they?
Huh?
I said they probably wrote you a check, didn't they?
No, they actually gave us cash.
What? You didn't have to pay taxes on it? Well,
Yeah.
that might be a little something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Rob. I mean, okay. Question here for you, buddy. Virginia. Virginia. What part exactly of Virginia do you live in?
The southeastern part, the part that's next to West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and North Carolina. That little split end down there at the end of it.
Okay. Okay. Now, how do they treat you down there? I mean, how do they treat paranormal investigators over there?
Like
I know
shit.
you. I mean, 'cause I know you're in the Bible Belt still. I mean that those people over there, man, they are so religious. It's crazy.
They treated me like shit. They treated me uh, like I was the plague, like I was, you know, I guess that's the reason why I'm so empathetic to black people, brown people, gay people, trans people. I know how it feels for people to look at you like you're like a fucking outcast, like you don't belong. And this is from my own fucking area that I was raised and grown up, and these people know me always in this area. And then when they seen that I was doing this, they shunned me. I was shunned. I still am shunned.
Mm,
When we do events, like when they have their summer or fall events, we'd set up a booth and stuff like that. And I'd have flyers and pins and stuff to give out to people if they wanted to talk. Yeah, we had a few that would talk to us, but I'd actually have people come and pick up a pen and the flyer, walk by, and then come back and set it on the table and look at me like, like just disgust. And that is the lowest fucking feeling for them to treat people like this and supposedly to be fucking religious, that's supposed to be accepting of everybody. I mean, a bunch of fucking hypocrites is what they are. And I've been outspoken about it. I don't know how many events I've done when people treat us like that. And I start raising hell. I start cussing them. Well, fuck you. And people on my team's like, Rod, you can't be saying that. You're in public. I mean, fuck you too. I ain't putting up this shit. You ain't treating me and my people like this when we ain't doing nothing but trying to give a service for free. We didn't charge a damn dime, and here waste. Well, I didn't. Well, not waste. That's the wrong word. But put all my time and all their time and energy into this to help somebody, for them to fucking look at us like we all had a scarlet letter on our chest. Fuck them.
mm,
Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them all.
yeah, I had a situation Friday where I went to go get my tires, some new tires from a van, and of course, I got my logo and my decals on the side of my van. And this one guy drives up. He was delivering parts to the place. He comes up to me as I was talking to the owner of the store, and it's like, and the first thing he says was, "Is this your van?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, ghosts ain't nothing but demons."
Yep. I've heard that 1,000 times.
I'm like, "Well, ghosts ain't nothing but demons. So you telling me everybody that died, uh, spirit is going to be a demon?" Then I asked him, I like, okay, let's break this shit down. And I had to ask him, I said, well, what is your religion, sir? He's like, well, I'm a Christian. I'm like, okay, first of all, so you're telling me the Holy Ghost is a demon? God damn it, don't you know he called me a heathen?
God. Well, see, I still got the logo on my van, and I drive my van now and then. To my doctor's appointments and stuff. I try not to go out much no more, but say if I'm at Walmart or grocery store, I still have people come up. Some people want to talk, ask questions, but then I get that one smart ass like you're talking about. You know, it ain't nothing but that's just nothing but demon worshiping. That's devil worshiping. I have even been accused of being a fucking devil worshiper by my own fucking family.
Mm,
Especially
yeah,
one of my aunts. One of my aunts, I loved her. She was a very Christian woman. Loved her all my heart. Matter of fact, the house I'm in right now, uh, after her and my uncle passed away, I bought it off my cousin. Loved her to death. Thought her was another mama. But not a few years before she died, when I started Black Diamond, she accused me of being a devil worshiper. I wouldn't talk to her. I'm like, if you believe that shit after all these years, in any way, even if I was a devil worshiper, what the fuck's it to you? You have your Christianity, somebody who believes that worships the devil, okay, that's their business. They ain't none of my business.
yeah, they killed me with that one, boy. I mean, I was speechless. I've never had anybody come up to me like that and just tell me. I'm like, oh, dude, this fucking dude, man, he just he just called me a heathen. Then turn around and it's like that was. And when I told him, I'm like, well, the Holy Ghost. Are you calling the Holy Ghost a demon too? Oh, that's blasphemy. I'm like, oh Lord, here we go.
Well, how long have you been investigating?
Well, I've been dude. To be honest with you, I've been investigating probably my whole life because I mean, I've always, dibbled and dabbled. I've always, was curious about things, but I just never had the time, Rodney, because uh, I've dude, I was always busy. I had three boys, and my three boys were always into some kind of sports. So I've never had on Friday nights we have Friday night football. On Saturdays we have Saturday football. Sunday, of course, you got the NFL. Man, I was busy. I was like a busy little bee, but I've always watched the TV shows, and I've always got a little, and I've always been curious. It's like I say, this weird shit has been happening in my family since hell, way before I was born.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, my great grandmother was a Native American witch lady or whatever, a healer. And I saw that myself when my aunt had sickle cell. And you ever know sickle cell, man, you're gonna go through some pains.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen her with these things in her hand, and I always wondering, uh, what the hell is going on behind closed doors? Because every time my aunt would get sick, because her body was aching, they would shut the door and they would do some kind of ritual. But I also realized, Rodney, is that nobody in my family ever went to the doctor for nothing. I always wondered about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we got sick, we went to the back. If we had a cut, we went to the back. A broken arm or a broken leg, we went to the back. So this lady who had some powers, man, had some healing powers. I could not explain. I've seen things in my own grandmother's house I could not explain. So therefore I'm like, well, dude. But the thing is, nobody in my family chose to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm gonna be honest with you, as a black man, we were always told to run, and we've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Something we don't understand, I was told to run away from.
Mm-hmm.
Just that simple, dude. I mean, if you see, have you ever seen that movie? What is that damn movie called? Uh, Nope. Have you seen that movie Nope?
Yep. Yep.
Where the dude had the UFO on the ranch,
Yeah.
and he looked up in the sky and said, "Nope, I'm not dealing with this." Same damn thing, bro. Same damn thing. If we see something we don't explain, nope, ain't dealing with it. Run the other way. That's just the way we are, dude. And believe it or not, man, and some of this, this religion, some of these things that people are seeing, mostly I can say in the Louisiana, when you got voodoo and stuff, most of that stuff came from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So you would think that somebody in my lineage would it would be passed down from generation to generation to generation, but no, it's not always the case. Because you gotta realize, dude, we as black people, they never did it to harm anyone unless you harm them first.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if the slave master was a nasty slave master and did some horrible stuff, of course they're gonna come after you. But also, if you need to get healed or something, they were there for healing. If you needed some kind of, anything, no matter what the situation is, that's what it's there for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people think that voodoo is a bad religion. It's just a misunderstood religion because a lot of people don't practice it. A lot of people don't look into it. A lot of people don't understand it. But you also have to realize is when we left Africa, that is what we studied, not studied, that's what we dabbled in.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my great, 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 great grandmother did, especially if she was a healer. She did stuff like that because back then there was no hospitals.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no penicillin. There was none of this stuff was happening like the technology you got now. So how do you go and heal yourself? Of course, you got your medicine doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Medicine doctors, they're called medicine doctors because they heal. They wouldn't call medicine doctors because they had medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Aspirin, Tylenol, and all that shit was non-existent back then. So what happened was, as time went through, it seemed like it got lost in time because nobody in my family practices that now. Or my great 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 grandmother didn't have that. What do you call those people? Somebody that a prodigy. She didn't have that prodigy where she can leave, something to happen. Damn, showed her how to do it. That never happened. So when she passed away, she took all that knowledge with her, which I hate to see it that she did that because I think that there are certain members of my family that I think could do good with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I've always been a part of paranormal activity around the house, man. It's just we wasn't able to talk about it, and like I say, and there was something that we don't understand. We was told to run from it, But as I got older, my kids graduated high school one by one. It opened me up a little bit to expand. I was able to actually get a team together, go on investigations, and investigate certain locations and try to start figuring things out. But what I should have did was before I started helping others, I should have helped my own self communicate on what was going on in my life before, and what I saw before I started helping others. And I did the total opposite. I started helping others before I figured out what was going on in my past life, which is okay, because now I actually got time, to do both.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great. You know what I'm saying? My kids don't go investigation with me. They love to hear about it, but they don't go.
Mm-hmm.
Because I instilled in that in them also. And it's weird how you instill things, because I always told them, I'm like, hey, if it's something you don't understand, you run away from it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what they're going through now. And I can't wait to have my first grandchild. So 40, 50 years from now, they're going to like, hey, what did grandpa did for a living? Oh, he was a paranormal investigator.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be open to them whether they want to continue my legacy of doing what I was doing, or, create their own. I think it's going to be an interesting time when that happens, because I'm curious to see on which way they're going to go. Either way is fine with me. You know what I'm saying? Either way. I mean, if they choose to follow my footsteps or they choose to follow their own paths, I'm good either way.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
my oldest son now he went on. He was part of the group for a while, and he went on investigations with me. And my daughters, they helped me with events and stuff. My daughters and my other son, they didn't want to go on investigations, but they did help with a lot of events, and set up, tear down, help people, learn history and stuff like that. But everything in Black Diamond is boxed up in the basement. Uh, I might. I'm thinking. I was talking that maybe I need to fix me up a backpack with some cameras and some audio equipment, and maybe do small investigations with one or two old team members or something like that now and then. But bringing Black Diamond back to the sizes that it was, I just don't have the energy to do that again. Um, but I do, like you said, my oldest granddaughter, she just turned 14 yesterday, and she's getting itchy, wanting to go on an investigation with me. And I told her, I said, well, give it another year. She's like, well, she's worried about my health. I know she's afraid that I might not be here in another year, but I do want to take her. But I don't think she's ready because of the fact, I told her, I said, what you see on these horror movies is not what you see when you do an investigation. So if that's what you're looking for, you're not going to get it. You know,
Exactly.
most time it's boring. Most time you don't, 9 times out of 10, you don't get nothing. And when you do get something, it's very brief, and you've got to be watching and waiting for it. There's a lot of times things that's happened. Like one time, we was doing an investigation at the Nickerson Sneed house, and me and Robin and who another member were sitting at a table down at the kitchen just talking. And two of the guys were upstairs just talking. We'd been there all night, nothing going on. And just out of the blue, you hear this deep voice say, "Get out." I mean, it's like it was right in my face. And I looked over at Robin, her eyes all big, like, oh my God, And I looked over to her eyes are all big and shit. I said, so you all heard that too? They're like, hell yeah, we heard that. And the guys upstairs are like, what are y'all talking about? We told them. So they come down, and, everybody gets quiet and sitting around, waiting for something else to happen for a couple of hours. Nothing. I mean, just a brief moment. And I told my granddaughter, I said, that's what happens. Sometimes you'll get something. Most of the time you don't.
Yeah, you're right. You know, what some people have to understand is investigations don't have to be 3, 4, 5 hours long.
No.
You know, it don't have to be that long, guys. You know, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been on an investigation where it probably lasts an hour, maybe two at the most. Depends how big the facilities are or the resident is. Uh, but I don't think any of my investigations have gone longer than 2.5 hours.
Oh Lord. I've had mine go all the way up to 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh hell no!
We did a jail. We did a jail and it lasted that damn long. I couldn't leave. Even the deputies that were there on duty, there was two. One was driving around the town, the other one was there at the office, and they let us have range of the jail and their offices and everything. And there for first couple hours wasn't shit going on. I'm like, ah man, what the fuck? Then all of a sudden the deputy comes out and he's like, man, somebody just went upstairs. I'm like, there ain't nobody. What? No, everybody's outside. So we go upstairs and look around, nothing. And he swore up and down he seen somebody walk by. So, and then we started getting the creaking and like hearing somebody walking up and down the steps. And then you could hear somebody talking. And, you got the voices in the jail. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then, after a couple hours, it'd calm down and I'd be ready. Okay, let's get ready to wrap it up. And then, they go in and then they start hearing the voices and the footsteps again. I'm like, Jesus Christ, they ain't never going to get out of this damn place.
Yeah, man. No matter how long, I mean, how successful we are getting evidence, I think the longest we went is ever maybe 2.5 hours long. I don't think I ever been to a location from sundown to sun up. Uh, I don't think my old lady would even allow that one. I gotta be in the house before sunrise. You know what I'm saying? Uh, and yeah, I don't think that it was even that. Yeah, but anyway, that's been an investigation. Hey man, you depends how much the evidence is. I mean, you can grab some great evidence and still, me personally, and hell, I'll still get the hell out of there in a decent time. You know what
I
I'm
can't.
saying?
I couldn't. That was one thing great about my team is the fact that okay, if it's getting boring and I see everybody's getting tired, I've even fell asleep. There was one place we was investigating. It was just a small home. I'd mowed yards and weed eated from like 9 o'clock that morning to 5 o'clock that evening. Got everything ready. Went down there, and we was investigating. Yeah, we was getting a few little knocks and bangs, and I said, "Well, I'm gonna go in the boys' bedroom where they said the stuff was going on." So I was sitting there and I was asking questions. Next thing I know, one Matt comes walking in, scared the shit out of me because I hear that door slowly. And I'm like, "What the hell?" And he's like, "Man, are you asleep?" I'm like, "I don't think so." He's like, "You been in here for 3 hours?" I'm like, 3 hours. I mean, it's like I just sat down on the floor and done some questions, and you can hear me you can hear me in the recording. I was asking, is there anybody here? My name is Rodney and all that shit. And then all of a sudden you hear me going for 3 hours.
Hey, Virginia was a part of the colonies, right?
Yes, sir.
So, what is the oldest town in Virginia?
Oh Lord, I'd have to be somewhere out there on the coast. Probably like Jamestown.
Okay.
I'd love to go to Jamestown, but I don't think they let you do investigations. And seeing
Oh,
that's
really?
something else about places like that. Historical sites. A lot of these places want to charge you like $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. I can't afford that shit. We did investigations for free, and
Exactly.
anytime like they wanted to go to that sailing asylum there in Kentucky, and it's like $1,500, and
Screw that.
it's only for like a few hours, and they actually kind of tour guide you through there. I'm like, fuck that. What the hell? That's not an investigation. That's a damn $1,500 tour.
Exactly. Hey, man, I think the most I've ever spent on an investigation, and we stayed there as long as I could, but I had to work the next morning, so I think the most I've ever paid was like $50.
We spent $400 one time for Lake Shawnee, and you've probably seen it on
Yeah,
YouTube.
that's the carnival.
Yep. Now we investigated that. We did. I'm talking about a thorough historical background on that site. We did get a few little EVPs, but we found out in our, digging up the history on the place. One, there's no report of no little girl getting killed there on that swing set. That's a lie. Uh, there was a boy that did drown there. That's true. Uh, Out from the park area, there is native burial grounds.
Hmm.
He was going to expand the park in that area, and they accidentally dug up some native remains. Well, they got the University of West Virginia to come in to check the remains out. They're actually Shawnee remains, and what that asshole did, the tribe, the Shawnee tribe, wanted them to put the remains back and rebury them because natives are big about do not mess with their burial grounds.
Oh yeah.
Well, he didn't do it. West Virginia kept the damn remains, and the Shawnee tribe wanted to set up some kind of marker there, and to keep anybody to making it some kind of national monument to where nobody can mess with the ground.
Hmm.
He wouldn't even let them do that. So the guy, Gaylord, he was fraud. He was fraud as fuck. And I when I did my report, because I do a report on all my investigations, everything, the history we find, what they tell us, what we got on our evidence. I give them video clips, audio, everything. He wouldn't even meet me. When I told him what now I found on his bullshit, he said, just send it to me. So I had to I mailed it to him, but he wouldn't meet me so we could talk about it. And then when I see everybody post this bullshit up about Lake Shawnee, God, it makes me mad.
I've heard so much about that place, but the one thing that really, really was disturbing about it is they put a carnival on Native American land, and they knew it was Native American land before they even put the carnival on there.
Well, see, they was back in the, I guess, 1700s. There was a little cabin there. A family was slaughtered there, and by the Shawnees. But they took one of their sons. They didn't kill him there. They took him up to Ohio and then burned him at the stake because they actually sent people to track the boy down, and they found his remains, and there's a big fight, and a bunch of people got killed. That's all true. But as far as the park, I mean, a lot of it is bullshit. And I mean, I've got the proof, but the problem is it's all locked up on my damn external hard drive that's I can't get into unless I spend $4,500 to a company out of Georgia to be able to get everything. I've got 14 years of work trapped on an external hard drive that I can't even touch.
Ooh-wee.
And I don't have $4,500. Like I said, like I told people, I was a poor group.
Yeah, hey, we're all poor, man. We are all poor. Trust me. Uh, I can't. It all started small at some point, man.
It did. We started out when I started. We had uh, um, uh, uh, a camera, a digital camera, and a digital recorder. That was it. And then I built up to where we had night vision cameras and other can. Oh my gosh!
I mean,
I,
it
it,
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 it adds up quick.
it takes time, man. Money. I mean, money don't grow on trees for some of us, you know. So yeah. It said do what you can, man. Take donations. I mean, I can't tell you how many donated cameras I got.
Oh,
Um,
I got a couple donated cameras. Yeah, and see, that's one. We had a big argument. We was doing an investigation. It was deep into Tennessee. It took us about 3 or 4 hours to get there. And the lady and her husband, before we investigated the house, handed me a check for $200, and I handed it back to her. I said, we don't know. We do this for free." And the other members were getting mad at me because they're like, "Rod, take the money." I'm like, "No, we do not take money. We do this for free." I was arguing. I was getting mad. And the lady said, "Well, take it as a donation." I said, "You write it on a check, I'll take it as a donation." She said, "You travel 5 hours, at least let us pay for your meals and your gas and lodging if you need it." And I said, "Well, I appreciate it, but I just don't want people to think or get out or think that we charge. We don't charge. What we do is free." And a lot of people in my group said we need to start charging. We had that big debate. And I held my ground on that one. I would not charge. And they wanted to do investigations at like Moundsville prison and stuff. And these places charge money.
yep.
And I would break it down, how much they charge, how much it charge, how much it costs for gas, how much it costs for our meals, um, and if we had to do any lodging for a night, I'd find the lodging, whatever the cost of that was, and I'd break it down, divide it out amongst everybody, and it'd be something like maybe anywhere from $100 to $200 a person. Oh hell, nobody! Oh no, if I got to pay that, I don't want to do it. Rod, you got to pay for it.
Right.
I
Oh
ain't,
yeah.
Rod ain't got that kind of money.
Shit. Besides, even if Rod did, hell, I ain't, you gotta pay your way.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You should pay your way. It's like a dues. I had it set up that people had to pay a yearly due to be in a group, which I even paid. I paid $50. It was just $50. That helped me with battery, cost of some batteries and so $50 with 10 to 20 people. That might be a few $100, but that don't last long.
No, sure don't.
Once you start figuring up your gas and batteries every time you do an investigation and feeding people that ain't may not have didn't have no money to or didn't bring any money, I'd go ahead and pay to feed them. So yeah, having a group, it's more than just going and doing an investigation. It's a whole. It's like running a corporation or a business without any income.
Yep, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on that. But
And then you take all the personalities, like we have Melinda, she is a huge part of the group. And people always wanted me when we first started to get like sensitives, people like that in the group. And I was always kind of skeptical about those type of people.
uh-huh.
And I had three or four people that came in the group, tried out that said that they were sensitive. So I figured out a test for them. I would, before we did an investigation, I knew the history of the place. So what I did was like, okay, I wouldn't let them know nothing about the case. We get there, I let them go in and then let them come out before we did anything. You tell me what you feel, what you know, what's going on. Every one of them was off, didn't know shit. Then Melinda comes into the pictures. She's talking to me about it. She says she's a witch and she's a sensitive and all this. So I put her to the test. She wanted to be a part of the group. She walked into this place. She comes out. She tells me everything I already knew. I'm like, what the fuck? So I did it like two or three other places, other investigations, and she did the same damn thing. And I'm like, okay, you can be a part of the group. That's the only person I've ever met that I can say is truly a sensitive.
Oh wow, that's cool. Because sensitive and mediums and psychics, they're hard to come around. Man, they're really hard to to find because most of them don't want to get scrutinized. They don't want to get ridiculed, and then again, some of them out there don't care. Some of those so-called mediums, the ones that claim to be well respected, those are the ones that are charging out the arm and the leg.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh hell no, dude! I'm not gonna pay you $300 to tell me something I already know. Tell me something I don't know. And so they end up being all off the hell. But then you got to pay them for the reading before the reading even gets started.
Yeah.
I'm like, screw that.
That's one thing Melinda told me. She said a true sensitive does not charge.
No, does not charge. One moment there, Rodney. I gotta take a piss.
Okay.
All right, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Ooh, boy, I have to let that one go.
Hey, Mother Nature calls. Mother Nature calls.
Yeah, trust me, and it was calling me. Okay, well, hey, man, we've been going on for an hour and 34 minutes. Great conversation. Man, tell the world how to get a hold of Black Diamond Paranormal Society.
Well, you can check out our website at blackdiamondps.org. At their website, I'm on Facebook under Rodney Shortridge or Black Diamond Paranormal Society. That's pretty much it. And like I said, also I've got links up to some of our investigations. Haven't got them all up there. Hopefully, if I ever can get it all off my external hard drive, I'll be able to finish that up.
Okay.
But you also can get a copy of my book. Uh, it's Ghosts of Pocahontas, Virginia, and the Hauntings of Appalachia. That's on. You can get that off of Amazon. Um, if anybody's interested in any of my paintings, I've got posted up on Facebook. Just DM me and Facebook, I guess, for anything paranormal or anything else. I love to talk. If anybody haven't noticed, I don't meet no stranger. I don't meet no stranger. I ain't never met a stranger.
Well, hey man, I really appreciate you coming on the show. Just sitting down and talking with us, man. I really appreciate it. You're the first one that I've contacted since my time back. And like I say, man, this is probably my second podcast that I've had since I went through my medical mishaps. Hopefully, I'll never have to go through that again. But hey, I really appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your stories and all that good stuff with us. Guys, if you guys want to get a hold of this gentleman, then like you say, go to Black Diamond Paranormal Society on Facebook, and you can find just about anything you ever need about this gentleman on his social media. You know, but with that being said, Rodney, you got any closing statements before I get you out of here, brother?
Yeah, I want to thank you for having me on the show, and I hope your health keeps improving. And anytime you want to talk, shoot the shit or anything like that, buddy. Like I said, I don't meet no strangers, and I've enjoyed myself, and you've done an amazing job, and I appreciate it.
All right. Well, you know what, man? The pleasure is all mine because you didn't have to. Anybody that see an area code of 512, normally they think I'm a bill collector. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you answering the phone, man. When I called you, I really did. Like you say, it's been a great conversation, man. We the topics have been, you know, the topic has been different. I mean, it's been a different topics, and man, I really enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, you get your health together where you're able to get out there and to get back, to get back doing what you love to do. If
Yeah,
not, you can always be like Josh Gates.
what you do?
On Josh, man, Josh sits back and let everybody else do it. Josh is the moderator. What he does, he'll check out or he'll look at a destination and he'll send somebody else out there to go do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's on, I think, Destination Fear. He was on a couple other TV show. But Josh Gates, he's the reason why I like Josh Gates is because no matter what he brings to the table, he always let his audience decide on what's haunted. He always say, "What do y'all think?"
Now, see,
You know,
I was really big about that. I never called a place haunted.
yeah,
I always gave the information, the evidence to the client, and also when I put it up on YouTube or our website and stuff like that, I always left it up to whoever's watching it and the client. You determine if that's haunted.
Yeah, you determine that.
Yeah, because I say this is going on, but it's up to you to say if it's haunted. If that's what you consider haunted, well, then it's haunted.
Yeah, a lot of people. Well, what really irritates me the most about people is these people that come on social media and they'll tell you, well, this is the most haunted place in Texas. This is the most haunted place in Louisiana. I'm like, how in the hell do you know, dude?
Yeah.
How do you know what's most haunted? You have not been to every location. Every location, there's still locations out there that's been undiscovered. You can drive past a rundown old house on the side of the road, and that could be the most haunted location in the state, but you would never know because you wouldn't stop there.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So how in the hell are you gonna know what's what if you don't investigate it? Oh, this is the most haunted cemetery. How do you know? There's 50 billion cemeteries in the world, and how can you say this is the most haunted cemetery out there?
Yep. That's true.
You know what I'm saying? You really can't. And I got so aggravated with one guy because he said that I had to get him. I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way that you can tell me that this place is the most haunted. What proof do you have that this is the most haunted location in the state of whatever state that you're in? Prove to me.
I mean, you're right.
I never got a response. I never got a response from it after I had to get him, because, dude, come on, man. That sounds so weird that somebody would say that because at the end of the day, nobody really knows. You can say one of the most active locations, but you can't say most haunted.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I rather say most active than most haunted any day.
I agree.
That's that fine line right there. You don't want to cross that line.
Yeah.
You're going to run right down that fine line right there, and because the minute you say the most haunted location, everybody's going to be on you.
And what's about money? You say most haunted location, then you can charge, $1,500, $1,000 to have people to come in for a few hours and run them through.
I can't do it.
I can't do it either. As much as I want to go to these places, I want to go to Waverly Hills. I want to go to these supposedly most haunted places in the United States.
But then again, it's so Waverly Hills is so run down, dude. I mean, I don't mean run down. I mean run down by paranormal investigators. I mean, the spirits in that location is probably tired.
Well, see, I went to shit. Let me look that up real quick. Damn it. What? No, not St. Albans. Oh God, no. Penn State up in Pennsylvania. Now that place is another place that's full of paranormal investigators. But when we went up there for an event, yeah, that place is fucking creepy, buddy. I'm telling you. I was actually one of my teammates went with me, Robin. She kind of walked away from me. Was going through the room areas where they kept these people, and she had cowboy boots on, so I could hear. So I know where she, I could tell a little bit of a distance where she was at.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I walked out and I could hear her boots moving, footsteps, and I heard her say, "Hey, Rod." So I walked around the corner and went down another hallway to where I thought she was at. And then I was like, wait a minute. And then I heard the boots moving again. So I went down another hallway and then I found her And I said, what do you want? And she looked at me and she said, what do you mean, what do I want? I said, well, you hollered at me. She said, I didn't holler at you. She said, I've been standing right here for like 20 minutes looking around.
Mm.
I said, you ain't been moving around? She said, no. I'm like, what the fuck? And then when we were walking out, I had my camera on and recording. And just we were just talking about what we seen, what was going on, how creepy it was. When I got home and was going through the watching the video, while we were talking, you could hear a woman in between us go, "Fuck you,"
Mm.
just loud and proud, buddy. I was like, "What the hell?" And I let my kids listen to it, and they're like, "Oh hell no, 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 we ain't having none of that. We ain't having none of that." I
Oh,
said,
shit.
I guess that other lady didn't like that we were in her area.
Yeah, you'd be surprised, man. I run across that a lot where you're in a branding, when you're in a medical location, let's say a nursing home, and we're talking post World War II, where most of the nurses or the orderlies were males.
Mm-hmm.
So 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, you see the transition from male to female.
Yeah.
And we walked into a location where I guess the spirit in this one room was not feeling the female in his space, and literally attacked her.
Oh.
And yeah, we had to get her out of there. She fell out. I mean, she fell out and things. I don't know. It got crazy that night. We had to suspend the investigation just to make sure she was safe. That's how I know. I like, dude, this guy was not fucking playing. He does not like women. It's okay if you're a man, but a woman in his space, no.
Yeah.
And that's the way it was back in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah,
An
that's right.
orderly was a man. I mean, as we transition over from orderlies to nurses
Mm-hmm.
or CNAs, where they were females, it got kind of hard. I've been down that road where I've heard stories about guys that didn't like their female nurses. A guy be just as nice as he can be, but a female go in there, oh, you bitch, you this, you that, you this and that. I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It is
Yeah.
really crazy. Irene, I'll be calling you here in a minute. But Rodney, it has been a pleasure speaking with you. I really enjoyed it, brother. I will be contacting you in about 2 months to check up on you, see how you're doing,
Okay.
see how things going. So you expecting a call around maybe July,
Okay.
just to say hello and, see if you decided to do what if you got the team back together, or you could be in the shadows.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a rock band. We broke up in the 80s and now everybody's wanting us back.
Well, I'll tell you what, you want to be, dude, what's the name of that band the Rolling Stones? Dude,
Yeah.
they're in their damn 90s and they still touring. I'm like,
It's,
oh my God, dude. I
they
figured,
were rocking and rolling before I was even born.
yeah, yeah. And most of them are dead,
Yeah.
so it'd be curious to know if you're going to decide to do that. Maybe, you'll get your health together. Your health will come back and you'll be able to do what you love to do, and, and go continue doing a great job. I mean, that's what I'm hoping.
Well,
But in the meantime, hey, like I say, I'll be hearing from you, and you enjoy the rest of your weekend, brother. I appreciate you coming on the show, and what I'll do is, as I end this stream here, I gotta let it upload, and I am going to put out some reels that that you can share on your social media
Okay.
with about the podcast, and hopefully you will like it, the reels and so on and so on, because all the reels I think are AI, so they're self-generated.
Oh,
So
okay.
whatever the most common conversation was about on the podcast, that's what they are going to put together.
Okay.
You heard I said he. I'm like, oh shit.
It.
Yeah, yeah, man. I am so petrified of this AI. People don't learn, man. You know, the Terminator movie was one of the biggest flaws of AI I know. It tells you if something learns enough and they consider something a threat, they're gonna try to eliminate that threat, and that's what AI did in all in the Terminator movies.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So people got to be careful for what they wish for.
Exactly.
Okay. Are you able to see the comments, Rodney?
Uh-uh.
I'm gonna put one up. You tell me what. Are you able to see that?
Your guest on the bottom has an old man behind him. That's my wife back there. She's making supper.
Is that what you're seeing, or are you seeing something else? What's she making for supper? I might have to come join you.
Cavatini.
What the heck is that?
It's macaroni and cheese, hamburger, pizza sauce, pepperoni, cheese.
Yo, that's hamburger helper.
Well, kinda. It's eh,
Oh,
kinda. I I don't know
actually,
how to explain it.
actually, it sounds like spaghetti, but in macaroni form.
Yeah, kind of like that.
She
Well,
said, "No."
what's this spirit look like? Because, like I said, this house belonged to my uncle and aunt, and they passed away, and my dad passed away, and they're buried up on the hill right from by the house. That was actually my first investigation.
Visiting family.
Hmm. And actually got we was sitting by my dad's grave, and my uncle he was married to my aunt, my daddy's youngest sister, and daddy had a nickname. They called him Bodie, but that was just within his brothers and sisters that called him Bodie. Tall, skinny, old white man. I don't know who that made, unless it was my grandpa. Now he was tall and skinny, but he asked. He said he called him by his name Berlin. Can I call you Bodie? And we got an EVP that said no, and
Hmm?
I was like, holy shit! My daddy told you cannot call him Bodie. Damn.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
It tickled me to death. And then my uncle, where I was, we were going different parts of the cemetery. He's still over there at Dad's grave, and he was asking Dad questions about me, and he had a clip where you could hear a EVP saying, "I love Rodney," and he played it to me, and I was white hair, and he is looking at you. No, my papa, he had coal black hair when he died when he was in his 70s. So I don't know who that might be. It could be somebody just fathered me. all
Yeah,
these
well
investigations.
done.
Now, see, all my investigations I've had before, I've always told them, you all stay here. Don't follow me home. I got enough going on.
Right? You come to my house, I gotta charge you rent.
That's it. You gonna pay.
You gotta pay where you lay, or you gotta pay where you stay, or whatever. I mean, long as
I
hey,
don't
and you got to be able to flush your damn toilet, clean up after yourself. Cause Lord knows I ain't gonna fucking do it.
And I don't want no damn ghost money either. I want the real
You know,
shit.
and I always ask people, man, why come ghosts always? If ghosts, if spirits want to be noticed, why they never do the right thing? They always do the wrong thing.
I,
When spirits, when spirits or a or what are those spirits that tear up shit? Those
poltergeist.
guys, yeah, poltergeists. They're the ones that always knocking shelves and knocking shit out of the shelves. You know, why not fucking clean up something? That's
Yeah.
the best way to make you move back. I'm telling you.
Pick your towels off the floor. You want to
Yeah,
prove
right.
me that you're here? Pick them damn towels up. Wash some damn dishes.
Wash and put the dish in the dishwasher. Better yet, cook some damn supper. Hey, if you want to be noticed, goddamn, that'd be the way to do it. And plus, make your damn bed up every goddamn morning. Yeah, I'm tired of looking at it.
and
You know what
quit
I'm saying?
shutting and quit shutting damn doors.
And
Leave
put
them.
the damn toothpaste and put the damn knob on the damn toothpaste. Quit leaving
Mhm.
that son of a bitch off.
And quit leaving water running. What the fuck? Why you always gotta leave water running?
Hey, another thing. Hey, you know, water, you got to pay that water bill.
That's it.
You know what? If you can't, I'm just gonna leave it on the table, and you can just. Uh, I'm just gonna leave it on the table and make sure you get that water bill paid, or if not, we're both gonna be out of water until you pay it.
That's it. You can sit there and turn all the knobs you want. Ain't gonna be nothing going on.
Ain't gonna be nothing but air.
That's it.
Or better yet, you want to go down to the river and get some water because we ain't gonna have none here. Hey, and quit leaving those floaters in the bathtub and in the bathroom because it ain't gonna be no water in there for
That's
you to
it.
flush your toilet because you can't pay the damn light bill or the water bill.
That's right. And
You
quit
know what I'm
flickering my damn lights and blowing light bulbs. What the hell?
Well, yep, same damn way. And quit fucking. I don't like the cup, but quit messing with my damn remote.
Yeah. Quit turning my TV on and off. Messing up my damn recording.
I don't like you when you mess around with my remote, and stop. You need to. You know what I'm saying? Hey, another thing is stop messing with the toilet paper.
Yeah. Quit rolling it all off of the damn road. Damn.
Hey, and if you see an empty roll, you know you used it. Why not just replace it? It's just that simple.
See, I think those spirits that do that, I think they're big comical fuckers like us. I'm
Yeah,
gonna fuck with it. I'm just gonna throw shit out the damn cabinets. I'm gonna slam the damn kitchen door, refrigerator. I'm gonna scoot a chair, and I'll scare the shit out of them.
yeah. See, what really gets me is when they drink my damn milk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, hey, I'm a milk. You got to replace my milk, man. If you gonna drink my milk, please replace it.
So I'm a bit. So I like milk in my coffee, but I love chocolate milk. Woo.
I'll drink milk either way it goes. I'm not too fond of chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
but that whole milk,
Yeah.
well, from the gallon, and they say at our age, milk is bad for you.
Yeah.
God damn it! But between the ages you're born until the age you turn 14, that's the best thing on the planet for you. It helps you grow your bones and everything else. Well, damn, what changed? Can the milk still grow your damn bones? Can it? What changed in the milk?
You seem like you need it more when you're old too. You
Yeah,
know, fragile bones.
damn bones get to popping and crack. Boy, it seems like I'm in a popcorn maker with all my bones be popping. Pop, pop. I'm like, oh shit, come on. And then, like I say, we're talking about sleeping earlier, man. The first thing I hear when I get out of bed is my knees popping.
Oh gosh, me too. Oh, and my hips. Now my hips. Phew. Yesterday, I woke up. It felt like somebody ass punched me in my cheek. You ever play football in high
Oh yeah,
school? I
oh,
did
oh
too. And you remember how when you get hit in the ass, you get a shoulder pad or a helmet in your ass, and you wake up the next day and you're like, "Woo!"
you get
That's
that
how.
sting.
Yeah, I woke up yesterday morning and I'm like, God damn, who punched me in the ass?
Yeah, you just those old battle wounds that are coming that comes back every now and then.
You ain't a kid.
But I'm a ugh. I do. I cannot drive. I cannot sit and drive like I used. I used to love. Like I said, I used to be a truck driver. I used to sit down and just watch the road, man, for like 8, 9 hours at a time. Boy, I can't do that now.
I
Every
can,
2 hours, I got to pull over and make sure my butt is okay because my damn butt is hurting.
yeah, my legs cramp. Oh my God, I have to get out and stretch too. Like I can't. That's real. I don't take trips like that no more. I love to drive though. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved when I was on the road all over the country. I loved it. But now I'm at that age that I wish I had the money where I could go back and actually enjoy it instead of seeing it through the windshield.
Yeah, man. Because when I used to go pick my son up in East Texas, hey, man, you're talking about 4.5, 5 hour drive, 5 hours, and and hell, I'm still in the damn state.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh gosh.
I felt like I didn't cross at least 5 states if I was in the East Coast. But shit in Texas, dude, it take me 3 hours to from where I live at now. It literally takes me, and I'm probably exaggerating. It probably take me 2 hours to get from north of Austin to south of Austin.
Wow. Yep.
Yep.
It's big. It's big. Texas is big. I'll never forget when I first drove through it. I was like, Jesus, am I ever going to get through this damn state?
Nah.
55. Back then it was 55 mile an hour. And I'm like, oh God. And
Nah.
if you did over 55, you get a ticket. And I'm like, oh God.
Yeah. Now, well, these toll roads are busting 80 to 90 miles an hour.
Woo.
And you would think that shit, going that fast, you don't need to, there's no use to going in no faster than that.
Yeah.
But hell, dude, you still see a state trooper pulling over cars for going faster than fucking 90 miles an hour. My
Wow.
goddamn van only goes 70. Hell, he'll pull me over for going too damn slow.
When I drove a truck, I got one ticket in Texas one time. And it was getting close to Christmas, and I was trying to hurry and get home, and I was having to run the bottom down on 10 and 20 to get across
Mm-hmm.
because it was snowing and icy and shit, and I was trying to miss it. And I was hauling ace. I was doing 75 and a 55. And fucking blue lights popped up 3 o'clock in the morning, and I pulled over. And I gotta give the officer credit. He gets up on the truck and he's like, "In a hurry?" I said, "Yeah, I'm trying to get home before Christmas. I got 4 little kids waiting on me, and I ain't got much time, and this is a long damn state to get across."
Right?
And I think it's somewhere near Van Horn. And he said, "Well, let me see all your license, registration, your papers, and all that." And I did. He came back. He said, "I'm gonna cut you a break. I won't say you was going 8 miles an hour over the speed limit."
Oh
He
my
said,
God.
He said, "That's $150 fine. Merry Christmas." And I said, "Merry Christmas to you. Have a good one." As soon as he got out of view, 75 mile an hour again until I got across the damn state.
Well, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man. 75 miles an hour ain't nothing these days.
Oh no, but boy, back then, whew, in California, It's 55 for trucks. And here these motherfuckers doing 75 and 90 and 100 mile an hour, just leading in the wind. Boop, 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 boop.
Oh, dude, I don't even want to talk about these damn trucks down here today, man. They're not even governed anymore. I don't even think trucks are governed anymore. You know what I'm saying? These trucks today, if you're independent,
Mm-hmm.
shit, that speedometer is open.
Yep. Yep.
Shit, because they know you got to get where you got to go. Especially if you're an independent trucker, man, time is everything.
Well, see, if
If
I wasn't training, I was running solo, and if I was running solo, I was running 3 logbooks.
Oh, damn.
Yep. I heard you can't do that these days.
Nah, hell. You know what? All the logbooks are digital these days, so there's no getting past that shit now. You
Don't
know,
they
my
shut
son,
don't they shut your truck down now? They'll shut your
oh
truck down?
yeah, they would shut you down. Hell, the goddamn your damn company will shut you down if they realize that you know your hours are up. Take your ass sleep on the side of the road somewhere.
That'd been
You know,
terrible. I would never got nowhere back in.
nah, nah, nope. They'll shut everything down. Hey, your mileage going from 65 cents a mile to 0 cents a mile.
Whew.
Talk to you the next morning.
Damn. No, like I told you, I'd run from Mount Airy, North Carolina to LA in 36 hours flat.
I don't see how you did that one, man. You must have been on some serious Pepsi or something. God damn.
It was what they call them mini thins and Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that Mountain Dew would definitely fuck you up.
Man, I'd go across Oklahoma and Texas Panhandle and Arizona and New Mexico just at scratching. It felt like I had fleas, buddy. I was so wired up. And then I'd get to where I need to drop off, and I'm just like, they're like, we don't supposed to be here to 2 days. I'm like, I'm here. I'm here. And then they unload me, and then I'm going up and down the damn coastline, picking up, and I would be heading back to Mount Airy, and trucks that left hours before me, I would pass them going the other way in New Mexico or Arizona or Texas, and they'll be getting on the CV going, you've already dropped off and picked up? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going home.
I'm going getting home. You know, most trucks today don't even have CBs.
Oh, really?
Wow. Everything's different now. You know what I mean? You can install a CB.
Mm-hmm.
CBs are a thing of the past now.
Wow.
You get a cell phone. That cell phone says it all.
Yeah, I bet it does. I see, back in the day, I had to call to get directions. I had to write it down. I had a recipe box where I wrote it down on them recipe cards. Every state was cataloged and all the places I went and all the directions and phone numbers and everybody you need to talk to. And my trainees would all sit there and copy that shit.
I hated them days, dude. And you had to look, no GPS. We had those big ass map books.
Yep.
Giant size map books.
I still got mine.
Oh shit, man. We used to get out and didn't have no cell phone. If you get lost, you had to get out the phone to go to the pay phone and to dial for directions and all that crap.
Better keep some change in your pocket. Better keep some change in your pocket. Yep.
Oh, you got to keep quarters.
Yep. Well, but I won't have to jump off here. I hear the little lady back there.
Well, dinner's probably ready.
Yeah, I'm smelling it, and I hear kind of,
Tell her make some cornbread.
Oh, hell yeah. I love Mexican cornbread, too. Oh, Lord.
I've never tried Mexican cornbread, but regular cornbread is Pretty good. I like mine with sugar in it.
Well, you ever get? I can't believe you ain't tried Mexican cornbread and you live in Texas. What the fuck?
Nah, hell, I never even heard of Mexican cornbread.
Oh yeah, it's got onions and peppers in it. Oh Lord.
See, yeah, I ain't never heard of that before.
Oh
Now,
yeah.
now
You,
the saltwater corn, not saltwater. What is it called? Salt something. Regular cornbread where you put you put a whole damn pound of sugar in it
mm-hmm.
and some butter on top, and of course you're gonna have diabetes the next morning. But hell, it's well worth it. Well worth it. You know what I'm
Hell yeah.
saying? But all right, Rodney, man, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Hey, like I said, I'll be calling you back here in a couple of months to check up on you and see how you're doing.
Okay, bud. Well, I appreciate it, and you have a
Yes,
good
sir.
night, and you take care of yourself.
Yeah, you do the same. All right,
Okay.
have a good one now.
You too. Bye bye.
And if I catch it coming.